My brother introduced the family to a sugar baby gold digger and everyone is acting like it's normal by oodlesofspeednoodles. For background, my 34 meters brother 37 meters is independently very wealthy after climbing the ranks of a successful tech startup that struck big. He is also very generous with his money. For instance, he has set up funds to ensure our parents will be taken care of for their lives. He covers the bill at restaurants, and covers the family's accommodations when we travel. The rest of our family is financially stable with careers, upper middle class, such that we do not need him to do this and never assume he will cover things. But he often insists. He was in a 7-year relationship, 2 years married with his ex-wife 35F prior to getting divorced. They met in college when they were both poor. His divorce was a dark time for him, and he was admittedly depressed, which was hard on the whole family. He was single for about 2 years after his divorce and dated casually but never mentioned any serious relationships. About 2 years ago, our other sibling got married and my brother, then single, flew into town for the wedding events. He was noticeably in a foul mood, very unlike himself, especially when all the siblings get together. He told me he had previously been seeing a new girl, Maggie, who had recently blocked him from all communication platforms after he made a joke that did not land well, and he was effectively going through a breakup. I offered my support, but he clearly did not want to talk about it at that time. 6 months later he announced to the family that Maggie is now his girlfriend, and they have been dating 2 months. I then learned she was 19 years old at the time they met, and she had been living in his apartment for the last 2 months. After meeting Maggie for the first time, I find out she is a first-year university student studying marketing, and she is obsessed with luxury brands, exotic travel vacations, Instagram, and most importantly, she lost her apartment 2 months prior due to financial instability right around the time she and my brother restarted dating after the initial breakup. She is very pretty, easy to talk to, and shares interesting thoughts, but one can't help but notice the stark contrast in maturity life experience she has from my brother and the rest of us siblings and spouses. She and my brother don't seem to have any interests in common aside from some movies, books, TV shows. She also mentioned that she has had prior sugar-like relationships with older men who take her and her friends on luxury yacht vacations. My brother is infatuated, bends to her every whim, can't keep his hands off her and, of course, he finances everything. She pouts if things are not exactly to her liking, and he caves immediately. I have not heard if she has an allowance, but she has no personal income as she's a student, and she expects dining at only the best restaurants, expects him to purchase her luxury bags, shoes, and he pays for her maintenance, hair, nails, facials, personal trainer, etc. He overall seems happy, which makes me happy. But I have a deep mistrust of her and the situation. They have now been dating for 1 year. He introduced her to the greater family, mom, dad, siblings, siblings-in-law, and kids this Christmas, and everyone was very nice and inclusive of her. Since the holidays, when I have privately and lightly broached the topic of their age difference and financial dynamic to members of my family, my siblings' parents do not seem as suspicious or concerned as I am. They are just happy he seems happier than around the time of his divorce and the time of the other family wedding, when Maggie had blocked him. We are not a family who openly talks about dysfunction. I'm not sure how should I talk with my brother about it. Edit because of timeline confusion in the comments currently. She is 20 years old, he is 37 years old.